guys, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel, and thank you so much for accepting my nerdiness, geekiness, quirkiness of yesterday's video, where I kind of went a little film production crazy on that video. It was Love of Tired Swans by Dimash. I really loved it, watched it many times after I hit end record, including obviously when I was doing the edit, but even after that. So such a powerful song. It's definitely one of my favorite Dimashes now, if not my favorite Dimash now. And I also wanted to say thank you for, in the comments, people were talking about how I noticed things they hadn't noticed before, so they appreciated that. They got a better understanding of how some film production works. And then a lot of you were suggesting, keep it up. There's some other Dimash videos that he does where they have some pretty high production. So I was looking at some of those and was going to make a list or add to my list of what I should watch next. As I tell you all, I have a spreadsheet. And then a couple of people did actually go to the buy me a coffee link. I don't drink coffee, but I tried to buy me a tea, I guess. I take it as kind of like a tip jar kind of thing, which I totally appreciate, and there's no pressure to do that. But the two people that went over there and left a comment specifically said to watch Dimash Know, K-N-O-W. So now let me be incredibly clear. I know that there were some people in the YouTube comments that wrote no to without a donation or anything like that. This is not me saying, this isn't like a pay for play situation here. Like I still love the comments that I get. You do not have to give me any money. I appreciate it when you do. That's very, very sweet of you. And I really mean that. But this isn't like, I will still look at the comments that you guys say when you suggest songs, and I will still put them in my spreadsheet to do. I did have another video planned for today, but because both of these people went over to buy me a coffee and like made a point to suggest this song while, also giving money, I figured, well, I've got to try to help and try to give back to that because I appreciate it so much. So that's how we got here today. I did want to read you what they wrote. Yaya Kristen said, love your reactions. Another great music video is No. Love to see your reaction to that. And then another person who wanted to stay anonymous because it says someone, and I guess you can do that on Buy Me Coffee, which is obviously totally okay with me. They wrote in French, which I had Google Translate for me. So if this is inaccurate, blame Google, not me. Although really quickly, I send my mom every video after I post it because she's my mom. And she doesn't have time to like watch them all, but eventually like she gets to them. And I was on the phone with her last night as I was walking from one thing to another in the city, just checking in on her and everything else. And she was teasing me because she speaks French. Or has a pretty good understanding of French. And she asked me why I don't ask her because I said in one of the music videos where they were singing in French, I think it was the Big Push one when they're on the rooftop. And I'm asking in the video, I'm like, I'm not sure what they're saying, but this is my guess. And I was trying to read captions, whatever. She's like, I don't understand why you don't ask me. And I was like, Ma, you're not there when I'm doing the video. So like sometimes I don't know I'm coming to that stuff until it's too late. But this would be an example, I guess, of when I could have sent her the comment ahead of time, but this is kind of an impromptu taping. So I didn't do that. Anyway, what someone wrote was, I really like your reactions as well as those with Tim. I love Tim too. Please, more reactions from Dimash. No, and Karen Elam, I don't know if I'm saying that right, are very beautiful clips. Greetings from France, which the salutations from France was like the only part of that I understood. So I'm sure that if I'd sent that to my mom, she would have been able to translate for me. And if this was at all inaccurate, she probably would have been able to tell me what was inaccurate about the translation. But hopefully that's the gist. So we're going to do No today. Like, you guys are gonna do that kind of stuff and be that sweet and nice, I think I've got to, right? So again, this is not pay for play. I will still listen to your comments on YouTube or wherever without giving me money. I want to make that as clear as possible because I really do love this community that's slowly building for me, where people just want to talk to me about music stuff, and we kind of geek out together. So just making that as clear as possible. But I do so appreciate when you do. It's like, you know, it's a weird dichotomy, I guess. Okay, let's get to this song. I am sorry if I've kept you waiting too long. I am excited to see this because of how adamant you guys were that I will like it based on my reaction from yesterday. So, Dimash, no official video. I don't know what that means in the parentheses, so I'm not going to try to say it. Let's do this. Oh, and I do it the captions on. And I'm hoping they're in English. Unless, is he singing in English? To be clear, I'm not shaking my head at the art right now of their dancing and everything. I'm shaking because that's Dimash. Like, that's his voice. I know it is. And that's, it always amazes me what this guy can do. Where do they find these locations? Is this a real island somewhere? It's a cool shot. Okay. I'm not going to try to stop this as many times as I stopped the last one, but if this is what's going to be happening, it's probably going to happen a lot. So fair warning. Did we all catch what just happened there? Because I was like, that was kind of a weird like clip to go straight from the, like, it was this one shot and then it kind of like jump cut from them in soft, darker lighting to what looked like, excuse me, daytime lighting. And then the words were, "The night disappears until morning." So I'll back up twice so you can see. So this is them at night, right? And then now watch. It just matches the lyrics so well. Again, I think I saw someone mention that this is from the same director, and which I'm guessing that means it's also the same DP, a cinematographer. Yeah. No shit. Like, come on. Boom. Night disappears until morning.
Мы с тобой два беглеца, убегаем от себя. Я слышу шорох и шаги.
This dance is dope.
Нежный шепот вопреки. Я не чувствую земли, лечу. Знай, у любви на небе.
Okay, if you want to know the truth, that is this shot right here where it's him and then they come out from behind him. That's one of those where the DP and the director looked at each other right after they got the shot and they were like, "Yup, that's what was in our head." Because that's a dope shot where you can't see them at all. I'll back up again so that we can see the whole thing. But that is I have been on film sets before where I've been the director and the DP is or music video shoots, because I've only directed one movie, but on music video shoots where you get the shot that you had in your head, and the way it pulls off, you're sitting there in Video Village, or you're sitting there looking in the monitor, and you're like, wow, that looked even better than I thought it was going to look. I guarantee that happened on that set, because that pulled off amazingly well. God, I love good film production, if you haven't noticed.
Твое сердце в руки взять, скачай, знай, у влюбленных два крыла, в небе бьют колокола любовь, рвет сердца. Край засыпает без тебя. У меня в гостях мечта. У нее твои глаза.
Okay, first of all, I think I say it in every Dimash video. When he comes in with the higher part, it sounds like a second person every time. Every time. And I have to, my brain immediately goes, remember, that's Dimash. And I have to resist the urge of stopping the video right away to be like, can you believe that's Dimash? Because I know you all know at this point, but it gets me every time. Also, where is this location? Someone please tell me. This is gorgeous. This waterfall shot right here with all the green. Look at how, oh man, did they do that in post, or is that stuff just that lush? Like, did they heighten the greens? That could be the reason these guys are wearing gray. So that happens a lot too in film production. When you know that you found a really good location, you try to make sure that the color scheme of the outfits, or what's going to be seen in light on the people that you're shooting, isn't something that will be boosted when you boost a certain color. You can boost, especially on the color spectrum, RGB, right? Red, green, blue. So you can choose one of those. There's a way in post-production, which is the editing process and color correction process. There's a way that you can push up the meter on the red channel or on the green channel or on the blue channel. They're called channels. And they could have boosted the green channel here, and it wouldn't have affected how we perceive the two people in front of the camera and the dancing, because they're wearing gray. So it wouldn't have affected them unless they boosted it too much. But pros know not to do that. But if this is just this lush, which it may be because it's in the middle of a waterfall, this is a beautiful shot. Like, beautiful shot. Sorry, I kind of geeked out a little bit on that too. Hopefully you found it informative. I don't know, but this is really dope.
Я ищу горящий взгляд. Невозможно описать твой взгляд. Знай, о любви на небес причал. Сердце в руки взять, встречай.
Did you guys see that? I'll see if I can get it to that point. Hold on. So see this? What myself, if I was the director, or the DP. Do you see that little shell, the white shell behind his head? Just over to the left side of his head, which would be his right, so camera left. That's distracting from the thing. So it's distracting from the mood. It drew my eye away from him. So I would have them take that shell out of there, whatever that is. I think it's a shell. I see water at the bottom here, so I'm guessing it's a shell, but it draws your eye. So they may have been in the middle of the shot and didn't want to do that or they may have said, no one will really notice because they don't realize I'm an insane person and someone told me to watch this. But that's the type of thing that you would be like, oh, no, get that out of there. It's going to draw the eye away. Also, I wanted to mention, bet that if those rainbows are natural rainbows and really appeared that way and they're not in post, that they scrambled to get all of those shots and they got as many as they could. I would bet dollars to donuts that there is so much extra footage that they shot during those rainbow, like those double rainbow arches, that and in front of them or as part of them, that if those are natural, if those are naturally occurring, that they did those as quick as possible because they didn't want to lose the view, the sight of them. And so that means you shoot as much as you can think of in front of them. And it's very spur of the moment. It's like such a creative process, so much fun to do. But when you've got that magic happening, you just like do as much as you can think of and figure out what you'll use later. It's kind of a moment when you kind of go off of production script. Anyway, these last two videos, man, I'm trying to react to the music too, but come on. The film production on this, I see what you guys mean that it's the same director, and I also see why you suggested that I watch this one next, because man. All right, I'll stop. Sorry. So, excuse me, something stuck in my throat today. Do you see the production error here? I'm not trying to cast shade at anybody for doing anything, but when I notice these things, I always tell them to you guys, because if I was watching a video about video production stuff and music reactions and things that person has seen for the first time, I'd appreciate it when they pointed these types of things out. There's a continuity error here. So I'm gathering that the whole point is that they're dousing themselves in some sort of like kerosene, gasoline, something flammable, a flammable liquid, and then they're shooting these flaming arrows at each other to light themselves on fire because they can't be together in love. Based on the lyrics, that's the vibe I'm getting, which also is totally giving me Money Game 1 vibes from Ren. If you know, you know. But her hair is not damp in this shot. And didn't she just douse herself in whatever that flammable liquid was? So if I back it up, see how it's not damp here? It looks like it's done. You still see the curls in it. Definitely, dry. And that's him. And then here, yeah, that's her. See how it's hard to see in this shot, but you'll see when I hit play, it's very close to her body because of it's wet. It's drenched in this flammable liquid. So obviously it wouldn't make sense to fire the flammable arrow, the on fire ammo. Wow. It wouldn't make sense to fire the arrow that is already lit on fire at someone who's not doused in the liquid yet. So they shot these separately, obviously, and there was either so much time in between when they shot the dousing that her hair had time to dry, and his may have too, but his is harder to tell, or they shot them out of order, which would actually make more sense because you have to be really careful with that kind of stuff. Like if it's really gasoline, which I doubt, it's probably water, but when you're dealing with fire stuff on set, so they wouldn't be able to actually be covered in it and be the actors who were holding the unless they were stunt performers that were holding the arrow that was on fire, because there could be a glitch, there could be a fume, and it could just catch them. They could just burn right there before they even fire the arrow. If that's a little too inside baseball, I'm sorry, but that was interesting to me. As soon as I saw this right now, oh wait, they shot this out of order. Anyway, I told you I geek out on this stuff. This is why I'm eager, when I can afford it, to do some more movie reactions too, because I totally kind of get into this stuff. It's like my wheelhouse, you know? This is cool. Yo, let's just play that again. Sorry. That I didn't know what was going to happen. First of all, the concept of the two of them running at each other is dope. It's beautifully shot because you get all the tension of it happening while you're switching back and forth to Dimash doing what he do. And then just that part right before he put that stank on it again, just like yesterday's video, that they climax with this, like running into each other and bursting into flames. And then he hits that epically high note. Oh man, that was cool. That was cool. I'm backing up enough to make sure that I see it. Guys, wow. What a way to marry the shots, the film production with the music and his artistry. Man, that was cool. Wow. That whole thing, especially with the excuse me, how it ended with them holding each other close together and they're in that kind of blackened out thing, makes me feel very Rise of the Phoenix. And because that's kind of how they started, they were crawling out of this huge black spot that had been like an explosion from I didn't realize at the time, but it looks like a charred burn pit that they're like crawling out of. So I wonder if there's a play in it in there that this is like a repetitive cycle, which Love kind of is, which I feel might be the point of the song. You guys can tell me if there's more info on that. But that's kind of the vibe I was getting from it. But that was incredibly well done. I mean, you guys knew that. That's why you suggested it. But if this is your first time watching it and you're watching it along with me, first of all, thank you. Second of all, bro, how dope was that? Like, man, what a way to put everything together. And I said this in the last video. Hopefully, it allows you to really appreciate, like, when people win awards for cinematography, this is the type of stuff they win awards for, because they were telling the story artistically. Also, whoever the choreographer is, the ballet was, the dancing was awesome. It was, and for a while there, I almost said it, but I didn't want to interrupt the video again. It was giving me Shia LaBeouf and that Sia video vibes, which I can't think of the song now, but the one that he got like slammed for because he's dancing with the little girl, and it seems like too whatever. But there's no denying that the dancing in that video is well choreographed, and I feel this was the same. This was incredibly well choreographed. Wow. Thank you guys for suggesting this. I'm always straight with you on the channel. I like yesterday's video better just because there was so much happening with it, and I love the action of it and the swan wings being, like, you know, cut off and stuff, and all the correlations and hidden meanings and everything else. But this is a close second in there with a bullet. Like, this is, wow. This director, does he only do music videos? And does he do more Dimash videos that you guys know about? Because this was incredible. I really, really dug it. And his singing, I mean, unparalleled. Though what he hits at that high note he hits at the end. Oh, woo! My man got pipes. Also, that little trill thing that he did at the end, was that digitally manipulated, or did he actually do that with his, like, I heard that at the very beginning of the song and I was like, was that digital? Because that seems, it has to be, right? But then all of you are going to say, I hear you already. Like, are you kidding? Dimash doesn't need to do anything digital. He's Dimash. And if that's the case, bro, I don't even know how you do that. Like, that's, I don't even know how you get your voice to do that. He's amazing. I said it before, I'll say it again. Bro's a cheat code. Thank you guys for suggesting this so much. I really appreciate it. And, you know, special shout out to the two people that, you know, gave me the donations on Buy Me a Coffee, because that's what brought this to the top of the list when I saw it, that they donated there, because there were other people commenting other songs on YouTube and everything else. But then I was like, oh, people are really into this No song, so I guess I should do that next. So that's how we got here, and we will also end it here. Thank you so much for, you know, staying with me. If you made it this far, you know I appreciate it. Hope you had a wonderful week. I kind of had a tumultuous one, but, you know, those weeks happen, and the only thing you can do is follow this advice. Don't wait for life to be easy to be happy.